A Tale About Ears, written by Joshua August, illustrated by Jonas Scott, narrated by Joshua August. Deep within Mayberry Meadow, beneath the large fallen maple tree, lived a large family of rabbits. Now this was in a time before time, when rabbit ears were not very long at all. They were only about the length of an average human thumb. This particular family lived very happily together. Each and every night they nestled together under the great fallen log. It was at night, however, when the furry little family was sleeping, that the Snarkles would come out of their caves in search of something to eat. Snarkles were ugly, troll-looking creatures who hobbled around the forest. They were hairy from head to toe and had only one large eye. It was only last spring that Robbie, the youngest of Penny's family, had disappeared. He went out from under the great log at night to look at the stars, and the Snarkles grabbed poor little Robbie. With only a small yelp and a rustle of bushes, Robbie was gone, never to be seen again. Now there came a certain afternoon when Penny Bunny decided to go out for an afternoon walk in the deep wood. Penny was the oldest of the girl rabbits in her family. She hopped and hopped until she finally made it to the creek. It ran the whole length of the far end of the forest. Just as Penny was about to take a drink of the cool creek water, she heard loud barking and a shriek that sounded quite like a snarkle. So she decided to go and see for herself. When Penny peeped her furry head through the bushes, she couldn't believe her eyes. There was a puppy with great long ears splashing all around the creek bed, chasing a snarkle. Up and down some more, the little puppy chased that snarkle all over the deep wood. Penny never saw a snarkle move so fast. The little puppy with his great big ears backed that snarkle right up against the creek's shoulder. Then he chased him up over the top and back into the forest as his barking faded away. Penny was ecstatic. She raced home to tell her family what she had seen. When she got to the maple tree, though, her father scolded her for being so late. When she told him what happened, he exclaimed, "Nonsense," and told her to go to her room for making up stories. As Penny began drifting off to sleep, with a single tear on her cheek, she suddenly had an amazing idea. If she looked like that puppy with long ears, maybe the Snarkles would leave her and her family alone. So Penny began tugging and pulling on her ears, trying to stretch them and make them long. Yanking and stretching, pulling and tugging, little by little her ears became longer and longer. She did this all night until she was so tired from stretching that she fell fast asleep, right on her bedroom floor. Early the next morning, her father left from under the maple tree to get some fresh wildflowers for the family to eat for breakfast. He was hopping along the meadow when all of a sudden, two Snarkles jumped out from behind the trees and began to chase him. They chased him around a stump and up the meadow. He yelled loudly for help, but no one seemed to hear. Back in her bedroom, Penny woke up suddenly from her sleep. Somehow she was able to hear the faint far cry of her father for help. Penny took off, dashing out from under the log and towards the meadow, forgetting all about her ears. She saw the Snarkles chasing her father and nearly catching him as he became more and more tired. Penny was so scared. She didn't know what to do. Before she could hop away, she could see her father and the Snarkles heading right for her. Suddenly, Penny remembered the little barking puppy, and with a great surge of energy, she darted towards all three of them, barking as loud as a little bunny could bark. With a look of shock, the Snarkles let out an enormous shriek as they all scattered off in different directions. Her father couldn't believe his eyes. Was that Penny he had just seen? After the dust settled, Penny realized she could stop barking. With a look of astonishment, her father saw that it was her and gave her a big, thankful hug. Later that night, under the great fallen maple, all of the rabbits sat and listened in awe of Penny as she told her tale about the Snarkle and the puppy at the creek. Being a puppy was all she could think to do to help her father. She told each and every rabbit there how she tugged and tugged on her short ears and made them long, so that she too would look like a brave little puppy. It wasn't long after that fateful day in the forest that all of the rabbits of Mayberry Meadow pulled on their ears until they were big and floppy like pennies. From that time on, to this very day, is the reason why rabbits' ears became, and always are, long.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the audiobook of my first children's book, A Tale About Ears. It's on Amazon. You can order a hard copy or you could download an ebook. I used to have a writing club. I used to teach creative writing. So I love literature, I love art. What's most amazing is a 14-year-old youth of mine illustrated this. So anyways, it just gives me some credibility, and I love literature, I love creativity. Get your copy today.